The next franchise is the Thameslink franchise, won by Govia, operating under the name Thameslink in March 1997. Services ran from Bedford to Luton, West Hampstead, running under the Snow Hill tunnels to St Pancras and London Blackfriars, then Streatham, Sutton, Wimbledon, East Croydon, Gatwick Airport, and Brighton, using Class 317s and 319s. Then in April 2006, the Thameslink franchise had been merged with the Great Northern section of the West Anglia Great Northern franchise to form the new Thameslink Great Northern franchise, which was awarded to First Group. The new Thameslink Great Northern franchise was awarded to First Group and started operations under the name First Capital Connect in April 2006. And now there are new services from London Moorgate and King's Cross to Potters Bar, Welwyn Garden City, Hertford North, Stevenage, Peterborough, Cambridge, Ely and Kings Lynn, as well as new Thameslink services to Sevenoaks and Orpington. They use Class 313s, 321s, 365s and Class 377s. Now this company wasn't very well liked. First Capital Connect was criticised for many things, from its terrible service to its badly trained staff. In September 2014, the Thameslink and Great Northern franchise was merged with the South Central franchise to form the Thameslink Southern and Great Northern franchise. The Thameslink Southern and Great Northern franchise was awarded to Govia, running under the name Govia Thameslink Railway, but retaining the separate brands. In 2016, new Class 700 trains replaced all other stock running on the Thameslink route, and then in 2017, Thameslink received a new logo and branding. New services were also introduced from Cambridge and Peterborough direct to Brighton, as well as services to East Grinstead, Horsham, Woolwich, Dartford, Gravesend, Rochester and Rainham in May 2019. The next franchise is going to be the West Anglia Great Northern franchise, which was formed of the West Anglia and Great Northern subdivisions, and was won by Prism Rail in January 1997, operating under the name West Anglia Great Northern Railway. In July 2000, Prism Rail had been bought by National Express, which meant WAGN Railway was now owned by National Express. Services ran from London Liverpool Street, Moorgate and King's Cross to Chingford, Enfield Town, Cheshunt, Hertford East, Stansted Airport, Cambridge, Welwyn Garden City, Hertford North, Stevenage, Peterborough, Ely and Kings Lynn. They used Class 313s, 315s, 317s and 365s. In December 2003, the West Anglia routes were merged with the Great Eastern franchise and the Intercity Anglia franchise to form the Greater Anglia franchise, which started operations as one, which we covered in episode 2. The Great Northern services still ran, but had been rebranded to just West Anglia Great Northern, and the Class 315s and most Class 317s were transferred to one. Then in April 2006, the Great Northern franchise was merged with the Thameslink franchise and services were transferred to First Capital Connect. In September 2014, after the demise of First Capital Connect, the Thameslink Southern and Great Northern franchise was won by Govia, operating under the name Govia Thameslink Railway, but still retaining their individual brandings, including the Great Northern brand. In late 2016, Class 387s entered service on the fast lines to Cambridge, replacing the remaining 317 units, and in March 2019, Class 717s entered service on the Moorgate routes, replacing the Class 313s. The last franchise from the Network South East subsidiary is the South Western franchise, formed from the Solent and Wessex, South Western Line and West of England Line subdivisions. The franchise was won by Stagecoach, operating under the name South West Trains. Services ran from London Waterloo Station to Clapham Junction, Hounslow, Richmond, Wimbledon, Kingston, Surbiton, Hampton Court, Chessington South, Epsom, Staines, Windsor and Eton Riverside, Weybridge, Reading, Woking, Alton, Guildford, Haslemere, Havant, Portsmouth, Southampton, Eastleigh, Winchester, Basingstoke, Salisbury, Exeter, Lymington Pier, Bournemouth, Poole and Weymouth, using Class 158s, 159s, 170s, 411s, 412s, 421s, 423s, 442s, 455s, 456s, 458-0s, with the Class 411s and 412s, 421s and 423s being replaced in May 2005 by the Class 444 and 450. The Class 170s and 442s were then withdrawn in 2007, with Class 458-0s being converted into 458-5s, and Class 707s entering service on the Waterloo to Windsor line in 2017. In March 2017, the South Western franchise was won by a joint venture between First Group and MTR Corporation. In 2019, the Class 442s re-entered service on the Portsmouth line, but were later completely and permanently withdrawn in March 2020, with them being announced for scrap in March 2021. Then in September 2021, a few Class 707s had been transferred to Southeastern.
The